Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Smart Money Mo, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a full smart money concepts change of character guide. And I know I've got a video on this previously on my channel, and it's actually my most viewed video. However, that was over a year ago, and I want to retouch the change of character as things have changed a little bit. And so this is going to be a video on how to use the change of character strategy in 2023. Now, quick thing is, yesterday or the day before, depending on where you are in the world, was Eid. So Eid Mubarak to all of my Muslim supporters. And yeah, I decided to do a quick discount. This is going to end on Sunday, so this coming Sunday. So yeah, make sure to grab the mentorship, get all of these exclusive benefits over here for a one-time cost of £120, dropped from a previous £160, so around the 30% discount. So yeah, make sure you get this while it's here, and I will be happy to provide you with signals, a course, and all of that in the mentorship. But without further ado, let's get right into today's video. Alright everyone, so to kick things off, let's go over what is a change of character. Simply, to define a change of character in words, is a change of character is a type of break of structure which is opposing the current trend, indicating a change in the direction of price. So to explain that in terms of, the charts, right? Let's say we have a current trending market which is bearish, right? So price is breaking structure towards the downside. So let's say we have a break of structure towards the upside. That would be an example of a change of character, because we have a break of structure in the opposing direction, which is indicating a change in market structure, or a reversal, or a, something like that, right? So again, let's go over it here. We are currently bullish and we are breaking structure towards the upside. Now we see a break of structure towards the downside. So this is a change of character, as it's an opposing break of structure to the current market trend, right? And it's indicating a possible change in direction of price. So that is the simple definition that we have so far of what a change of character is. Now, throughout the video, we're going to go over how exactly we can transform what we know a change of character is now into what I'm going to be going forward with in 2023. And at the moment, we're using change of character in a way that we're looking for this on the lower time frame, or the relatively lower time frame, after price taps into a higher time frame POI. So for example, let's say we have a higher time frame POI, so a higher time frame demand zone, right? And then I see price tapping in, for example, over here, and then I see a change of character. That will be a confirmation for me to take this trade, right? That's what we are using it so far, and I'm not doing that anymore. I have an updated way, right? And so over here, for example, let's say we have a supply zone, and then price taps in, and then break structure towards the downside, and then I enter like this, right? That is the classic way of what I have previously on my channel of using change of character. Now I'm using a different method, and so let's get right onto that method now. So everyone, step one of the new change of character method is waiting for a structural break inside your POI. So let's go over that. So let's say we have our higher time frame zone over here. So this box over here is representing our higher time frame zone. And let's say we're waiting for price to come into our zone. We're waiting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for price to tap into my POI. So I'm going to wait for price to tap into my POI. And in this example, we have a supply zone. So I'm going to wait for price to tap into my supply zone. And I'm going to wait for it to print a high inside this supply zone, right? And so after price has printed a high inside my supply zone, I am going to wait for price to then sweep that high, right? And so essentially what we have here is we have a liquidity sweep inside our supply zone, our higher time frame POI. So again, let's go over it. We have a higher time frame POI, and then we see some mitigation, and this is where the fake change of character is, right? So initially what we'd be doing maybe a year ago is we see price tapping into our supply zone, we wait for a drop, we go into the lower time frame and find a change of character, and then we enter from a supply zone here. But what I'm saying to you guys is after we see that initial tap and drop, wait for price to then sweep that high, and then get a change of character on the lower time frame, right? So that is the system that I'm going with. So to explain it over here as well, again, wait for price to tap into the POI. So we have our tap in over here. Then after we have our tap into the POI, you know, we might have some initial reaction, but I am expecting price to go deeper into the zone, sweep this low, and then we get our change of character on like the 1 minute, and we you know, take price higher, right? So that is the system, right? And so step one, all we're waiting for is for price to sweep that high and sweep that low, right? And step two is all about what happens over here, right? So on the next slide, we're going to be zooming into what we're looking for over here in this particular moment in price. So right now I've displayed the whole, you know, sort of schematic as it is played out. But in the next slide, I'm going to be zooming into exactly what's going on over in this point over here and in this point over here. So let's move on to step two. All right, everyone, here we are on step two. And now let's wait for the real change of character, right? So like I said before, we're zooming into that specific point in time over here, right? So let's go over that. So after we have the liquidity sweep, so let's say we have the liquidity sweep. Let me quickly draw that in. So let's say price swept that high, right? That high that we have already made inside the zone. Then we wait for price to either break the low, so break a low on the lower time frame, right? Or to break a demand zone, right? To fail a demand zone, right? So for example, this demand zone, it fails it on the lower time frame. And then afterwards, we can talk about entries, right? So all we're doing that now so far is after we've seen price sweep the high on during our high time frame POI, right? After price sweeps the high, I am going to wait for a change of character, which is simply breaking a low or failing the opposite demand zone, right? So here we see price breaking this low or failing this demand zone, right? And then again, in the previous, in the other example where we had the demand zone, right? Remember, price took out the low, and we had that liquidity sweep inside our zone. Now we wait for price to move towards the upside, take out this high, or fail a level of supply, right? So yeah, now you wait for the real change of character after price has swept this liquidity or swept this liquidity in both of these examples, right? So hopefully that makes sense for step two. Now we have step three, which is simply waiting for a change of character. After having seen our change of character, we enter from supply and demand or fair value gap. This is an optional step of waiting for another liquidity grab on the lower time frame. This is not really an essential step. It's more of an optional step to create, you know, more confluence towards taking this trade. So this is my classic entry model that I use for all of my trades, right? But the main thing is, after we see our real change of character, we enter from supply and demand or from fair value gap as usual, right? So yeah, guys, that is what we have in terms of the process of taking a real change of character trade. We wait for price to print a high and print a low inside our zones. We then wait for price to sweep that high and sweep that low. And then afterwards, we wait for our real change of character. Then after that, we enter from supply and demand or fair value gap. And we have an optional step of searching for a liquidity sweep. Now, that is the system that we're using for real change of character. We're going to be going over an NZD USD live chart example. And this is something that I sent on my Instagram as a, you know, sort of free setup. So make sure you follow my Instagram. And yeah, if you want to take these signals, make sure to join my mentorship, right? Although I didn't send this out as a signal, it was sent on my Instagram, you know, for free. But yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get into that example. All right, everyone, here I am on NZD USD. We're going to be going through that example of how to use the real change of character in 2023. I also did a trade breakdown of this on my Instagram, so make sure you check out that post as well. You know, leave a like and a comment. But yeah, let's get into this. So essentially, I was looking for sells on NZD/USD, right? And at this point in time, I had taken, you know, this area of supply. I'm pretty sure at the time I refined it down to this level, but for this explanation, I'll just keep it as this, right? I had this 30-minute level of supply, and my reasons behind, you know, looking at supply was because I had this previous mitigation of a supply zone here, and I had this around this mitigation of these supply zones over here. So there was some bearish order flow coming into this trade, and we had taken out a major 4-hour swing low over here, right? I'll quickly show you guys that on the 4-hour. So you can see we had this 4-hour major low broken. So essentially I was looking for sells on NZD/USD. Now, on the 30-minute, we have this current price action. Now, what I'm going to be looking for is for price to tap into this zone. Tap into this zone. Tap in, sweep a high, give me a change of character on the lower time frame, and then I enter and catch the move to the downside, right? That is what I'm looking for. My confluences for this trade was we had a massive area of liquidity here. We had some inducement over here as well. So very, very strong confluences for this trade, right? I only trade supply and demand zones that have liquidity and that have inducement. I need to see one of those. But yeah, let's go on to exactly at what point I started searching for a change of character. So as you guys can see here, price is pushing up very aggressively. So I need a change of character for this supply zone. So yeah, I was waiting for price to tap in. And as you guys can see here, we have a tap into this supply zone. Let me go on to the 10-minute. Right, price has tapped in and it has given us a clean level of supply. Loads of traders are going to be attempting to trade this supply over here after having seen what's it called, for example, this change of character over here, or you know, something like that, right? However, I am going to be waiting for price to sweep this high, and then after we sweep that high, then I will be going for an entry. Now on this particular example, you may have caught an entry from over here. However, going by my rules, I wouldn't have entered yet because I don't expect this to be the big crash down towards the downside just yet. So guys, I'm going to be waiting for price to sweep this high. So at this point, you can see here all of the inducement that's going on here, right? Price is inducing all of the early sellers who are selling from this level of supply. So there is going to be a lot of liquidity resting at the supply zone. And what happens? Price fails that supply zone, right? So I'm going to mark up this liquidity grab. So step one, we have price printing a high within our zone, and then price fails this high, right? It fails this level of supply and it grabs all the liquidity resting over here. Now I'm going to move on to the 1 minute. You know, this is just one of my preferable time frames. You can do this on the 3-minute as well, right? And I'm going to wait for price to either A, fail a demand, or B, take out a low, right? So we have this level of demand. I'm going to see if price decides to fail this level of demand. So let's just play price and see what happens. So yeah, as you guys can see, price comes in and we fail this level of demand. Let's see if we get a 5-minute. Okay. So we'll just stick with the demand here. Price ends up failing this level of demand, and it gives us this lovely entry over here, right? I know I played that quite quickly. However, let's see if we can maybe perhaps get a re-entry. So yeah, so that would be entry number 1, right? Now let's move over. Okay, cool. Again, we have price then failing this level of demand over here, right? And it left us with this, I imagine, 3-minute entry over here, right? So if I set my entry just here, so that was our 1-minute entry. Now we can set our 3-minute entry, right? I'll probably just refine this down to over here, right? And giving us to 1:7 risk to reward ratio. Now, this was my real change of character after having seen the liquidity sweep and this as well over here. And I think price is gonna also take out, okay, cool, we're entered there. Price is also gonna take out this demand over here. So even if we didn't see all of this, price did take out this level of demand over here. So this is my change of character for trading this particular zone over here. Price came down, took out this change of character here. Price had also just beforehand swept this liquidity over here. And so we are left with the picture perfect real change of character, right? So we had the price sweeping this 10-minute high here, price taking out this 10-minute level of demand, failing this level of demand, right? And we had a liquidity sweep. Now we can enter from the 3-minute level of supply, and price taps us in here. We are take profiting at these levels of equal lows, right? Or you could have aimed for this demand zone here, right? And so yeah, that is my take profit, these equal lows, and that is my entry from this 3-minute supply zone. So let's see how this trade runs. As you guys can see, take profit gets hit instantly within 39 minutes, right? Within 39 minutes, we have secured 7 RRs. But yeah, that is essentially, and I'm pretty sure this trade runs for lots more. Yeah, there you go. So this trade runs on for ages now, and then we start to see a reversal. So that is my system of how to enter with a real change of character from a higher time frame POI. So to give a quick recap on the 3-minute here, we had our higher time frame supply, we had our 4-hour swing low being broken, we waited for price to tap in over here, it gave everybody a fake change of character, then it swept all that liquidity from this previous high, and then we waited for price to change of character us over here. We waited for this 3-minute of supply to get mitigated. We had also seen a liquidity grab over here, and this was our entry. Our take profits were at this equal lows, and we secured 7 RRs for this trade. So yeah, guys, that sums up my real change of character video and guide. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys found it beneficial, and I will see you in the next video. Make sure to check out the mentorship down below. Thank you very much.